Biology of the dragonfly. Dragonflies have intrigued human beings for many centuries. As the adult dragonfly darts around on its impossibly thin wings, the glistening colors can make it difficult to see the truly twisted nature of the wings, twists which make flight possible. This unique and complex flight mechanism has inspired recent aeronautical research. Furthermore, when we look closer at the dragonfly, we notice how alien it is. Imagine if, in our gardens and forests, the most successful predators had eyes which wrapped around their heads, not only giving almost 360 degrees vision, but also providing the fastest and most precise processing of visual information in the animal kingdom. Sounds like alien science fiction, but this is exactly the life of a dragonfly. You may be surprised to learn that dragonflies spend most of their lives in the larval stage, residing underwater. Indeed, the adult stage, which makes those beautiful flying giants that we are so familiar with, may last only a few weeks. This greatly extended developmental stage is reflected in their classification as insects of the group Odonata, which can be roughly translated as the toothed ones in relation to their powerful mandibles, mouthparts. Furthermore, the Odonata are most well known for their successful wing design, and these are typically notched, active during complex processes such as powered flight, and also have a dense arrangement of tiny veins. This video will therefore provide the intricate anatomy of dragonflies, delving into how every element of their physical characteristics has been refined over many millions of years of evolution. Additionally, their fascinating, unique life cycle, including metamorphosis, will be explored. This will begin to offer a window into why dragonflies have become some of the most successful predators in nature. Also, their unique and astonishing flight ability will be discussed, and finally, it is important to address the key role dragonflies play in the ecosystem. With dragonfly numbers increasing in recent years, from what we know currently, it seems that they are incredibly important in controlling mosquito numbers, keeping species at healthy levels, and therefore maintaining a stable ecosystem. Anatomy and physical characteristics. A dragonfly is an aerodynamically designed insect. It has a long and slender abdomen and 4 transparent wings. It has a small head with very big eyes. Similar to other insects, it has 3 sets of legs, and the dragonfly uses them for walking and catching food as well. The wings of the dragonfly are designed in such a way that they can move independently. There are muscles in the base of each wing which control the movement of the wings. These muscles contract and relax, causing the wings to move up and down. The unique thing about the dragonfly is that they are able to fly in 6 different directions and can reach speeds up to 36 miles an hour. Such a flying ability is possible due to the fact that the dragonfly beats its 4 wings out of phase, making a continuous figure of 8 motion. This continuous motion enables the dragonfly to change direction swiftly, move in reverse, and stop without having to hover in the air. When a dragonfly is at rest, that is, not flying, the 4 wings are held flat and away from the air. This makes the wings of the dragonfly show a sailplane design. Sadly, dragonflies cannot fold their wings back, which means the adult dragonflies cannot spend the rest of their lives in hiding like some other insects. And that is why we can usually see them flying here and there. The wings of the dragonfly are also a fine biological model generating interest of designers in the manufacturing of small aircraft. The best material to construct dragonfly wings should be light, stiff, and strong. Furthermore, the mechanism, which enables movement of the wings of dragonflies, can be imitated in the actuation of aircraft. However, careful inspection of the wings with the aid of a scanning electron microscope reveals that the wings are covered with thousands of tiny outgrowths and ridges. This gives each wing a load of using updrafts and wingtip vortices, serving to aid the dragonfly in staying airborne and maintain lift. Work is still in progress by scientists to make aircraft designs which mimic the flight mechanism of dragonflies. The ability of the dragonfly flying in numerous directions, as well as its inimitable flight mechanism, makes the dragonfly one of the most agile and efficient hunters in the insect world. overtaking many other insect species of the same rank in the food chain. Unique life cycle and metamorphosis. The life cycle of the dragonfly, from the moment the adult starts to lay eggs until the death of the adult, spans a mere 4 months. Yet each stage is fascinating and totally unlike the stages of development in mammal, bird, fish, reptile, and amphibian life cycles. Dragonflies like to lay eggs in water, usually on plants. When the egg first hatches, a dragonfly nymph emerges. It is a highly efficient predator which stalks and catches other creatures that live in the pond or river in which it was hatched. The nymph breathes through its anus. It sucks water in through the anus and out again for oxygen to be extracted. Because the dragonfly nymph is so different from the adult, older science books often mistakenly describe it as a separate species. After about 2 years in the water, the nymph is ready to start the process of metamorphosis. It climbs up a suitable stem of a plant, then, when it is ready to undergo the final molt, it finds a good place to do so. The nymph's skin splits at a weak point behind its head, and the adult dragonfly slowly pulls itself out. At first, the adult is mainly a mass of soft, colorless tissues, and the insect pumps in fluids from its body to make its wings and abdomen expand. It takes a while for the huge, delicate wings to dry and stiffen, and the dragonfly to gain its adult colors and markings. The adult dragonfly is a spectacular flyer, but in many respects, it is the larval stage that is the most impressive. Many dragonfly species are very fussy about their habitats and need very clean water in which to breed. Pollution, pesticides, changing water levels, and global warming are all causing these habitats to disappear, and many dragonfly species are in great danger. The British Dragonfly Society, amongst others, is doing valuable work recording where dragonflies and damselflies live, and trying to make sure that their online databases give them proper protection when habitat is threatened by planting applications. This is very important because dragonflies are not just fascinating and beautiful creatures. They are an essential part of many food chains and quite sensitive to changes in the numbers of other species. For example, in Africa, the sudden drop in bee-eaters arriving for the winter is partly explained by the recent large decline in dragonflies. Dragonflies are also good indicators of climate change. Because they need sunlight and warmth, they tend to be more active in these sorts of conditions. So dragonflies have a higher tendency than other insects to be there when scientists are recording what is happening to different species as the Earth warms up. Astonishing flight abilities. Thanks to this special way of flying, dragonflies can travel huge distances in search of food or a mate. In fact, some dragonflies even migrate across the sea. For example, the globe Skinner dragonfly travels more than 10,000 miles across the Indian Ocean. This is a distance unheard of in any other insect. One final feature of dragonfly flight is their speed. Because they are such strong flyers, dragonflies are some of the fastest insects in the world, reaching speeds of over 30 miles an hour. In fact, dragonflies are so good at flying that scientists are learning from nature and are now starting to design small airplanes that use flapping wings instead of propellers. Airplanes that use this type of flight are known as ornithopters and have applications in lots of different fields, from filming and photography to studying wildlife. The four wings of the dragonfly also work together in a very different way to other insects. When it flaps its wings down, the four wings work in series with one another and create one big downstroke, as each wing catches the air from the previous pair of wings in a process called insect stroke production. This provides the dragonfly with the majority of the lift that it needs to stay airborne. When it flaps its wings up, the four wings work in synchrony and provide little resistance to the air, thereby increasing the efficiency of the stroke cycle. This is a result of a process named clap and fling, in which the vortex of air created when the leading edge of the rear wing meets the trailing edge of the front wing sticks to the wings and generates uplift once the insect starts to move forward. The dragonfly is an extraordinary flying machine. Although there are various types of flying insects that resemble small helicopters, none can match the maneuverability and distance capabilities of the dragonfly. The key to dragonfly flight is its four wings, which provide unparalleled agility and precision in the air. Most insects have two pairs of wings, but the dragonfly's front and rear wings are completely independent, meaning that they can all move in different directions. This allows the dragonfly to hover and also to glide in a completely different way to other insects. Dragonflies are able to fly forwards, backwards, up, down, and hover like a helicopter. No other insect has this level of control over its flight. Dragonflies in the ecosystem. Like other insects, dragonflies play a vital role in the ecosystem. They are important predators in water-based environments, and they also form a direct link to the ecosystem in which they live. Their presence can have large impacts on other organisms around them. But what is most important is their impact in keeping the populations of their prey down, ensuring that it does not get out of control. For example, the juvenile stages of many dragonflies, called nymphs, are aquatic and feed on other aquatic organisms like mosquito larvae and other aquatic insects. This keeps the prevalence of diseases such as West Nile Virus, which is carried by mosquitoes, down, and also helps to control the populations of other insects. If there were no dragonflies in water-based environments, there would be a big issue with the overpopulation of these insects. This shows how dragonflies can provide an extremely useful service to man and the environment as a whole. After the nymph stage, any dragonfly emerging from a nymph will go on to be a predator of animals that fly about in the air. Insects such as midges and mosquitoes are the most common food for adult dragonflies. This is favorable for the ecosystem because these animals are carriers of diseases, and so the dragonfly carries out a useful role in keeping their populations down. It has been estimated by scientists that a single dragonfly can eat about 30 to hundreds of mosquitoes per day. This is beneficial for the control of diseases such as malaria, which is carried by mosquitoes and other insect pests to humans. Also, these insects are considered a general annoyance to many people during the warmer months. So a thriving dragonfly population can only be a good thing for us. But not only do dragonflies eat flying insects, it has been found that their presence can encourage other animals to live in the area. Dragonflies, as described earlier, live in and near water environments. This means that these insects also provide a food source for fish and other small animals that live in and around water. So, now that you have learned a bit about dragonflies, try and make sure that the next time you see one, you don't just think of it as another boring bug,